Hey guys, this is GamerCow. Welcome to another exciting run of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Randomizer. This time we're in version 27, so there's a lot of fun stuff to come up in this, and we are going to play the new mode, Keysanity. So, there's two things for this. One, that this is actually a custom seed that will have a little bit of variance at start just to be a bit quicker. So we guarantee that Pegasus boots are in the first chest, the sword is at Uncle, and to complete the game we need to make sure we can get through escape because this is going to be standard mode, not open. So the key for the sewers is actually in the chest just below Uncle. So that just ensures that we can get past the beginning and we have a quick seed because Pegasus boots are notoriously annoying to find nowadays and sometimes you just want to go fast. The other thing is this being Keysanity. What does that mean? That means that all the dungeon items within the game, the maps, the compasses, the big keys, the small keys, are randomized everywhere. So it's no longer the case that all of the, say, Tower of Hera, big key, small key, they can be anywhere they want. Ganon's Tower, big key, can be anywhere in the world. And it's actually a lot of fun. I don't know, it's one of those that it sounds kind of really crazy on paper, but I found it to be pretty entertaining so far. So I wanted to show off a thing here. In case you wonder why it sounds a little bit different, it's because the mic is a different one. I am currently able to use my snowball mic without any issues, so that's what I'm going with. Might be able to transfer that to other stuff as well, but for now I've been testing it out, been pretty happy with it, so we'll see how it goes. So, let's begin. Now I'm choosing standard mode over open here. That's not gonna happen, Uncle. This is Keysanity. Sub 2 is actually pretty hard to do. I'm choosing standard over open here because I want escape done straight away. Open mode is generally the way that you would do Keysanity because you don't have to be constrained by the beginning, but if you make sure that you remember to place the small key properly, then standard mode is perfectly fine. So I just want this bit done. That's really all there is to it. And doing the Pegasus boot dash without the sword is only really half a dash because you've got to go around enemies anyway. So it's more entertaining to do it this way. Now, when you get the small key that is, or any dungeon item that is not for the place you are currently at, that is what happens. You get a text box saying where it is. Now, when we get more stuff later on, I'll show you the actual map. I could probably show you the general map. You see there is no icon on this map. We do not know what the crystals and pendants are for the dungeons. We will only know that when we get the dungeon map for a dungeon. So, for example, Eastern Palace could be a crystal, it could be a pendant. I've obviously not played this seed, so I wouldn't know. But when I get the map for Eastern Palace, if I've not already beaten the dungeon, that will tell me what is, what is there. Whether it's a crystal, whether it's a pendant, what color they are. So there you go, we've got a small key for Desert Palace straight away. It is kind of important to keep track of what you have that way, and obviously an item tracker would be nice for that. There haven't actually been any trackers that I know of yet which have been updated for it. That is in the works. This mode just came out within the last week. This is only the 4th seed of this I'm playing. Yeah, 4th seed, because I just played one as it was, and then I played one under a slight variant of these rules, where it was open mode and the sword was in the Sanctuary chest. That was my initial version of this. And then I played a race against In the Name of DT where we just had boots in Link's house, no sword guaranteed. So that was kind of cool. And now we're trying this out. So what I really like about the new custom mode, I want that bomb, thank you very much. So what I really like about the new custom mode is that it is very adaptable for whatever you want to do. You can actually make proper Plandomizer style things with this as well, which I think is quite neat. So what I mean by that is you can basically create a custom seed where you place every single item. And obviously that means that not every seed would be beatable if you place items in stupid ways, but if you place them correctly, you can have it so that every single dungeon is beatable with the most evil layout you could possibly think of. And I'm sure some people are going to take lots of liberties on that one. Also, because this is beyond version 26, the sprite stuff has changed. Version 27 has added a heck of a lot of sprites actually as well. There's apparently 64 of them in total now. And a lot of those are recolors of like Link or Dark Maple Queen or the boy girl from the Satellaview. I think it's Satellaview, the BS Zelda. There's a lot of recolor stuff that way as well, but there's tons of original ones too. Some of the favorites I've seen so far is from the new ones. We've got the sprite from Secret of Mana, and we've got Will from Illusion of Gaia, which is really cool, or Illusion of Time if you're European like me. Illusion of Time is what I know it as, but I know in America it's called Illusion of Gaia, so there you go. Yeah, so you can see we do have the small key for this because we picked up the key from the, I believe it's called the secret passage chest. So, I got bopped by snakes. It feels pretty bad, but it's okay. So, yeah, kind of a neat thing here to have this as an availability. This also means you don't have to necessarily grind for bombs, because the Pegasus boots are perfectly capable of dismantling the wall that you would use bombs for. So if you're doing standard mode, randomizing Pegasus boots to the beginning is a pretty neat option, just as a variant for the game, you know? This isn't going to be like tourney race legal or whatever, but I'm already out of the tourney anyway, so I don't care about that. So yeah, it's just a case of this adds some much needed fun to the game. Yeah, found the map of Thieves Town and a hookshot, that's pretty good. Also some extra bombs, so I shouldn't have to buy any bombs, which is nice. Finding the hookshot already is really good, because that gives me an excellent weapon to use against the guys in that one place, also known as Mini Modon Cave. So, other than that, it's pretty standard. But you see, I'm still going to have to open this chest because the map for Hyrule Castle is not necessarily here. And it is a compass. It is the compass for Turtle Rock. So, I mentioned that the maps will tell you what the crystal or pendant situation is like. What the compasses do is, when you are in a dungeon, the compasses will tell you how many items are there. And it'll keep track of them for you. So, like, Swamp Palace has got 10 items in total, so that will be a nice powder. That will be 0 out of 10 when you get in there, and every time you open a chest or get an item otherwise, including the boss item, that will go up. So you can easily keep track of how many things that you've found, basically. That's the idea. I was hoping that bird wouldn't come at me. Oh, nice. Okay, so blue tier is bomb sets. That's actually really helpful. You are also bombs, but I don't care too much about that. So go ahead, check what is in here. It should also be noted, of course, that Aghanim's key requirements are also in the randomizer pool. So there are 2 keys for the castle tower, as it's called, and those are not guaranteed to be found early either. This does mean that Aghanim's tower finally has items that you can get, so you do have to keep it in mind now. But you only need one of the keys there to get that. Nice 300 rupees here. This plays into my strategy for this quite a bit, because with boots at the beginning, Houlihan becomes a much more interesting option to me, because I know of some glitches. Didn't actually want to pick that up, but whatever. I know of some tricks, as you'll have seen on my videos before, that will help me get to Zora much earlier. So having that money is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So the general gist of this this mode in the end is it is a lot more sort of 100% heavy than the standard mode, which might sound kind of hard to believe because standard mode is often 100% heavy as it is. But what I mean by that is you're more likely to have to full clear every dungeon, just because the items to clear the dungeon is not just restricted to what physical items you need anymore, say the bow of the Eastern Palace. The hammer is super nice, alright. Some good money too. Yeah, it's not just restricted to what items you need to actually beat the dungeon physically. That is super good, holy hell. It is also based on the keys that you find as well. So, a good example of that, actually, my race against DT, we needed the Bomb Burst Medallion to get into Misery Maya for my final item, which was actually the Eastern Palace Big Key. So, there's definitely some interesting stuff there. We have the Skull Woods Big Key, probably one of the least useful ones. The only thing the Skull Woods Big Key does is it opens the big chest, which admittedly, obviously is one item. So it's not useless, it's just not immediately what you're after. So you have the map of Hyrule Castle. That is the most useless item you can get, I think, because Hyrule Castle obviously doesn't have anything that you could use a map for. So that's fine. Blue Mail is really good to see quite early as well. Just that little bit of defense against the crabs, although when you've got Pegasus boots, the crabs are not generally as big of a problem, but you can still get bopped by the mini Moldorms and whatnot. Blue Mail is never bad to have. It's just a little bit more money there. Still looking to do the Houlihan, I think. That seems to be the main thing that I would do here. Because I don't, unless I get another 300 rupees, then I'm gonna need to do it, I think. There's the Moon Pearl too, so we immediately have Dark World access in this seed. That is interesting, also kind of terrifying in a way. I could just go and do Thieves Town right now, but I don't have... Do I have the big key for it? I don't. I have the big key for Skull Woods, so I can't actually finish Thieves Town right now. And that's the sort of thing I'm meaning when it comes to the interesting applications of this. Is that, yeah, I actually can't do Thieves Town despite having the hammer to get all the other stuff because I don't have the required tools for it. No, you need to just kind of go ahead and die, thank you very much. Alright, so set yourself up here, and as you will see, the screen is going to scroll up and up and up. And that will let me do the Houlihan room. So the Houlihan room is a nice cheap source of 225 rupees. That'll take me over the 500 threshold here, so I can go ahead and do Zora as well. In case you're wondering what that telepathy tile does, it is a Hall of Fame for the winners of the tournaments. So far that is only Ben, or AJM, because there's only been one tournament done so far, but the second tourney, the full tourney here, is in the second out of 3 phases, which is pretty good. And the secondary tournament is in its bracket stage right now, so that I think will also have its winners immortalized in here too, so it'll be fun stuff. So check back at the end of the year basically, and we'll have a couple of extra people in that particular room. Alright, I do want that bottle because the bee is... I mean, the bee is not that useful. I say that, but the bee actually can be kind of useful. The bee is not the main selling point there. The bee is just a secondary thing, but the bottle itself would let me do Sit Kid. And that is definitely a worthy check. So here, Hookshot just one-shots the mini Moldorms. It's actually pretty awesome. Doesn't kill this guy though if he gets in the way like that. But that's fine. This is what Blue Mail is good for, only taking half a heart instead of a full heart. So I have ourselves a key for Palace of Darkness. There are 6 of those, so definitely important to keep those in mind. There's a key for Skull Woods, which is not the most useful of items, but it's still useful enough. You don't actually need any small keys from outside of the dungeon to beat it, but it does speed things up a little bit. So still worth getting. Obviously we don't have a choice as to what we get or not, but it's definitely worth picking up anyway. So, with that said, we just have the quick Ice Rod Cave check here, and then we're going to start doing some sequence breaking. So, not required by any means, but definitely useful, especially in a mode where you're giving yourself boots at the very beginning. this is a handy thing to know. So I did a video on this, but basically just dash out the door, don't fall into the pit, dash out the door next to the pit here, and when you jump southwards, you will be in a water walk state when you jump into the water. So that is best done here, so that you can dash along, and now you can check Zora stuff if you want to. You can check the hobo, which is what I'm going to do here. The lamp is on the island. That is really interesting. Okay. Nice item to see there. If I do find the mirror, then I have access to that via a similar sort of glitch here. So that would be pretty good. So we have a big key. It is the Tower of Hera big key. I could actually make my way up to Tower of Hera right now. Also, there's the reverse fate flippers here. Because I have the Moon Pearl, it's the reason I'm not just save quitting here. Because I have the Moon Pearl, I can actually go ahead and do the regular water walking strat up at the Waterfall Ferry, so that'll get me the 2 items over there. I can also get the item from Zora. We'll see what's on the ledge. I might want to pick that up as well. A combination of the water walking trick with fate flippers would let me get that. So we'll just have to see what is actually on the ledge. I might still need to pick that up too. So when you have the Moon Pearl and you swim out of here in fate flippers, for whatever reason, you get to walk on the land. Just a little bit of money, but that's fine. It was just enough that I didn't need to do the hula hand, but that's okay because I wouldn't have known that, and that extra money might come in handy anyway, so don't regret that. It is a big key that's up there, so I am going to have to come up here. It's actually kind of neat because I'll get to show that off then. Pretty good stuff. I do like that, and I think I'll go ahead and do that now rather than wasting a bunch of time with it. Zora himself, as always, absolutely worthless, but it's okay. So, as I've already done in the video before, you can get that item using just the Pegasus boots. Fortunately, that's what kind of cost me in the 2v2 Tony as well, because I tried to do it and I kept landing on the water, which is really stupid, but whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's not the most difficult of tricks if you have the Moon Pearl as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up the same water walk thing that I did in the Ice Rod Cave. You can set it up here as well, it works just the same. But instead of jumping down to initiate the water walk straight away, we're going to store that water walk using fate flippers. And so we'll get that done now, just with the consistent setup here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the Waterfall Fairy Cave so that I have a water walk state. Make absolute sure you do not move left and right in the Waterfall Cave, because if you move left and right in a submap, it disarms the glitch. That's why we have to dash out the door. So we'll do that. And so now we are in Water Walk, but we have stored a Water Walk as well. So when I jump south off of the ledge here to, you know, the waterfall here is a ledge. So when I drop to the south of this, we'll actually be able to pick up the item here as well. You can't do this all in one shot. You've kind of got to do it this way around, which is a bit annoying, but it doesn't really matter too much. So then we jump out, get ourselves a big key. And this big key is for Misery Maya. Okay, that's actually quite a useful one, so because you do need the big key to clear that dungeon. The only big keys that are potentially skippable, and it really depends on what is where. Swamp Palace is potentially skippable. The Skull Woods one is skippable, and the Ice Palace one is skippable if you can do the bomb jump. But by the logic, Ice Palace big key is still required. So, yeah. But if you've got the tricks, you can do it. So another thing, this is actually available in standard mode as well, but now we get to see where the green pendant is. Like I said, Sahasrara will tell you in standard mode as well, not just in Keysanity, but I don't find it useful in normal modes because you can just look at the map. But because the map doesn't tell you where all the stuff is straight away, it's much more useful to see, oh, okay, that's where the thing is. We'll be able to see where crystals 5 and 6 are later as well by using the bomb upgrade guy, or the super bomb guy, because he also tells you where crystals 5 and 6 are, because he's like, get these crystals and I can make a super bomb, and be all like, kaboom. One other thing is that just because this is Pendant dungeon music does not mean that there is a pendant in this dungeon. In this particular mode, the musics are shuffled, so you can't use that as a yardstick to say, oh, this is a crystal dungeon, or this is a pendant dungeon. So, that's fine. Master Sword is nice. I do like me some Master Sword. Definitely good to get that before having to commit too much to any battle scenarios. So that's pretty nice. I don't really mind coming in here too early. I know I can't get the big chest, and by the logic, because of where the lamp is, I can't go ahead and get the big key chest in here, but I will get it because I can do dark rooms. You know, that's fine. So I'm not really too worried about that part, but it's a case of, yeah, I can't actually clear this place right now, but I might find something like that big key for Palace of Darkness that will let me clear some other stuff. So that's fine. Plus, if something like the mirror ends up being here, that would be super, super good. So there is one more chest I can pick up in this dungeon. So we'll go ahead and do that just now. It is not that chest down there, because I have not found the big key for this place. Again, if you don't have the lamp outside of standard mode sewers, if you don't have the lamp, then you'll have to do all of this stuff in the dark. But that's okay, because if you've played this enough, or if you've practiced this, then it's not actually the most difficult of things to do. There's a bonk for free, but that's okay, I don't mind. I don't mind that. I'll let them have that. So get that, and then just over here. Really not much of a problem. That is one of the easier darkroom sets to do. It might kill you if you don't have a sword though, because those mini Stalfos are really annoying. So, like I was saying, this is another sequence break at the moment. Didn't actually yield anything this time, but that's okay. So, I have options. I could go up the mountain, which is a reasonable option, but I think I'm just going to follow a little bit of the logic here. Which I know is shock horror, right? But I have the hammer, so we can go ahead. Oh, I didn't even show the bee there. If you see in the menu, actually, that bee had an asterisk next to it, or a little sparkly thing. That is to show that it is a good bee. So yeah, it's a little plus sign. It's a good bee. Now, good bee is pretty sweet because it gives you the ability to sell it for 100 rupees. To the bottle vendor, or it's much more potent in battle if you want to use it for that. So you could do that too. I won't be against that. Oh look, it's Ice Palace Big Key, one of the ones I said we could skip. Aether's pretty cool. Alright, so a reasonable enough Hype Cave. Hype Cave has been super disappointing in recent versions because of the changes to the logic, but now we can see I have red pendant in Palace of Darkness and a crystal in Thievestown. Those are places that I can go. Palace of Darkness is an interesting one as to when you want to go there, because there's a lot of ways that you can go that mitigate the use of small keys in there, but since you're almost never going to find the small keys for the dungeon within the dungeon itself, it is possible, but it is pretty rare, so don't count on that. Really? Are you not gonna give me the super speed here? There we go. So there, just a heart container. We will pick that up though. I think it's worth it. Yeah, so you gotta kind of be careful because there are 6 keys required to open every single locked door in Palace of Darkness, but you need to be smart about where you use those keys in order to, you can get it done within about 4, but you need to be careful just how many you use. because you don't want to end up in a situation where you're having to dig for a small key to that dungeon when you don't actually need anything but the boss out of that dungeon. Just a little heads up with that. The hammer jump is really good for helping that out, although I will say I am bad at that jump. Like, I tried to do it last night as well and failed, but that's fine, it happens. Hopefully if we do it this time I can actually get it done proper, but no promises. There's our bow though. Catfish coming in with the goods here. Okay, I was actually worried this was going to be a waste of time, but no, we got ourselves a bow out of it. That's pretty good. I will happily take that bow. The bow is still required because this is still standard, this is not Enemizer, so the bow is definitely mandatory. I cannot actually go and finish Eastern Palace without the big key though, so there's no like incentive to go there right now. I don't have nearly enough small keys to do Palace of Darkness entirely, so I've got no real incentive to go there at the moment either. So that bow is going to be sitting there for a little bit, but it is one of the most notorious items to try and find, so I'm still very happy to see it. That, the Ice Rod, the King of Samaria, those are the three that tend to be the most troublesome to find. So, at least in my experience. So, I will not say no to finding it now. Speaking of, there's a big key up there, so we're probably going to need the cape at some point in order to get that. Cape is not something I found yet, obviously, so that is a little bit of a problem, but it's okay. We can live. And now, whilst I'm over here, I may as well go ahead and check the stuff here. You don't want to fall down that pit there because the chest there is not constrained to have a small key. I do, however, already have a small key for this dungeon, so that's why I'm going down this one. So find our second shield. That would be kind of okay if we get to fight blind. We know Turtle Rock is green pendant, so I don't necessarily want to be finishing that dungeon. Yeah, so the map for ice, so we could see whether ice is a crystal or a pendant. I forgot to go and look at the Super Bomb guy. I could have seen which were crystals 5 and 6, but I did not, because I'm a derp. Right, so we got harpies there. I kind of also realized I shouldn't have opened this door. I should have opened the one down the bottom. I'm gonna have to save quit, fall into that pit. Yeah, I shouldn't have opened that door. That one small key that I picked up should have been for the door that was below the last chest I looked at there. But this is okay because I do have Sick Kid to go and check, and I don't have the mirror to make the check quick, so that's fine. Fun little fact, you can use Ether. You know, although don't use it when you're killing enemies, apparently it causes a lot of lag. But you can use Ether to kill Gibdos in one shot. It's pretty fancy, gotta say. So I'm gonna have to wait here because I was too slow. That's fine, I'll just pull this up. I'm also going to bomb here, I think, so I can get my magic back. Because that is a pretty handy thing to have around here, if that would just kindly move yourself out of the way. So, take me away, hand! It's gonna be faster than pushing the statue and whatnot, so that's fine. Now, I don't have any other means to clear this dungeon right now. I do have the big key for this dungeon though, right? So I can go ahead and open the big chest too. So we'll do that. Need to do a bomb jump across, but that is fine. Yeah, it's important obviously to remember what items you have here. That should be fine if I do the bonk. Yep, no problem. And that has the book. Interesting. Okay. The Book of Medora, huh? That could be fun. Right, so just need to go ahead and open this chest as well. Like I said, it's not guaranteed to be a small key here, so we'll open this and then save quit. And it is unfortunately not a good item either, but whatever, doesn't matter. Such is the way. I just have a thing against boomerangs because I don't like them, but that's fine. Don't have to like every single item. Alright, so no Titan's Mitt, so I can't do King's Tomb yet. What we'll do is we'll check Sit Kid, and then I'm actually going to check the pedestal as well. A Total Rock being a pendant means the pedestal's pretty much not going to be required. At least unless it's for like Gandalf's Tower Big Key or something, that'd be kind of cool. But you never know, and it's worth just having the knowledge of that. Oh, there is the mirror. Okay, that would have been really nice to have before going into... Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's actually good timing on that though, because I can use that for very nice purposes here. That'll just help out my overworld efficiency here as well, so that's good. Because now what I can do is I can go and check the Graveyard Ledge, check King's Tomb, and then maybe do the first 4 items in Thieves Town. I can use the mirror just to get straight out, and when I do, I can then do like Haunted Grove Ledge and check the stuff there as well. So good applications for it. Just a little piece of love, so just a heart piece there. That's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I say unfortunate as if I actually wanted to get all the pendants, which I don't really, but you know. It's unfortunate for the viewers, right? If the Tony chats are anything to go by. Very unfortunate, but it's okay. So just get the hammer thing there. Didn't really need to do the dash in the end, I could have just gone without that, but it's fine. And now... I think I'll do the first 4 of Thieves Town before I do the other bit here. Because I'm in this area already, so I may as well just do the items around here and then do first 4 of Thieves Town. Oh, did I really have to get the other boomerang as well? Oh well, I guess if you've got one, it's not really any harm in getting the other one. But I'm just gonna complain anyway because I can. So... that's pretty much how it goes. Deal with it, I guess. I don't know. So what do we get? A dungeon map for Easton. Okay. So we get to see what is there, whether it's crystal or pendant. That's fine. Get ourselves an extra bomb. 50% chance for that particular bush to have a bomb. So take advantage of that when you can. Oh, I've also got the powder too, so I could check Magic Bat here. That is something I kind of forgot to do. So okay, we need to do that as well as the Graveyard Ledge stuff. Not a problem. That mirror also lets me do the lamp stuff that I was on about before. And because I don't have Fire Rod yet, that would be my fire source to do other fun stuff as well. So I should probably get that too. Showing off a lot of sequence breaks within this, but you know what? That's part of the fun of it. Being able to utilize the tricks. So this is the last chest that I can get here. And it is Tempered Sword. Okay, that's pretty good. Tempered Sword is a worthwhile addition. I will take that. So, don't forget to check this house, obviously. Now, not having the Titan's Mitt means that if I'm going to do the stuff at the south here, I will need to mirror back, basically. I can't actually, like, open this up right now, which is a shame because I'd love to do hammer pegs and such here, but I don't have the tools to do that, so I'm gonna have to be careful on that front. And it also means if I go south to the digging game and the Haunted Grove Ledge, I have no way of getting back up right now. So I do have to be mindful about that. So that is a compass for Thieves Town. Compasses still aren't particularly useful to me because I already know what items are where, but having the compass is not awful. Like, it does still give you some useful information. Did I put this too close to the rocks? No, I didn't. Okay. Alright, so I think the ordering here is going to be a little bit clunky, but I think the ordering here is to go down and check the stuff here, and then go back up through the Lost Woods to the portal to go and check the graveyard ledge. And then from there we'll do the water walk to get the lamp. So I guess there's a decent bit of money back here. Not that I really need too much more, but still good to get it anyway, right? Lots and lots of digs. This is random between 1 and 30, but it's seeded now, so it's the same for everybody within the seed, but it's random per seed. The same as boss RNG is. So now we'll just go ahead and grab the item from old Stumpykins over here. And that is a heart piece. 11 hearts already is pretty good though. I'm not gonna knock that. That is not a bad turnout. So go ahead here, check this, and then go back up to the graveyard, to the Skullwoods area, and do the stuff from there. This is the ice rod. Okay, I don't necessarily need the ice rod because green pendant is what's at Turtle Rock. So maybe I need the ice rod. I don't necessarily need it, but I'm not gonna say no to it right now because it is actually pretty good. Let's see if I got that. Yes, I did. Super speed. I don't normally go for that super speed actually because I'm not normally in the area to do it, but it is one of the classic NMG super speeds. So, still worth going for. I don't have the flute, obviously, so I can't activate the stuff here. But this is just me being kind of thorough with the area that it's what I like to do with these runs, is I like to be thorough about where I have and haven't checked. I don't really like taking huge risks on this. I will take gambles on occasion, but I won't like generally take a ton of unnecessary risks when it comes to leaving stuff behind. I always like to make sure that I have all the things. So I should probably just go through this way then. Before I can do the water walk setup, and I haven't actually done this one in a while, so hopefully I do get it, but actually no, when was the last time I did this one? I'm pretty sure I did this one somewhat recently. But point is, before I do that, I need to check the stuff here because the mirror transition will not maintain my my water walk state. So again, this is a bit of a loot round, but I do want that lamp. I think that lamp is kind of useful at the moment since it is a source of fire, which I don't have otherwise. Fire rod is kind of eluding me right now, so I do want that fire source available. Get a compass, may as well just pick it up anyway. It's a compass for desert. We're getting a decent number of things up for desert right now. Oh, I was way too far over there apparently. Okay. Can't say I've ever bonked there before, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. So now we just need to get what is here. This is my favorite spot to find Titan's Mitt, is in this particular area. So from here, you just hold your sword out, so long as you're not facing upwards, hold your sword out and dash start a dash against the grave, and you can open the grave no problem. Okay, so now we're gonna go get that lamp. This has been quite a cool seed actually, because I managed to do quite a few little glitches here. Not going to be able to do the dark room stuff anymore because we are going to get that lamp, but I think that is fine. Don't have to show all of that stuff off all the time. And besides, that lamp might be required for a thing if I get like Small Key from Tower of Terror. Actually, why am I going up this way? I need to go into here. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to set up, basically we're going to fake a dash into the thing here. So we need to go along the side and then dash into it, basically. And if I've got that set up right, we'll double check off of the side here. If I have this set up right, it'll trigger the same general water walk state as I don't actually have it right. It triggers the same water walking state as what you find from the mini Moldon Cave stuff that we did before. It's kind of a weird one to do, but it's neat when you can get it. So I think that should have worked. I had a consistent setup for this, but it's been so long since I've had to do it that I've kind of forgotten that setup. So hopefully we've just got it this time and I don't make too much of a fool of myself here. Yeah, there we go. So you see we're going super fast off of that. So now we need to do the same thing as before, jumping south off of a ledge. And the one that we would choose is over here because this has a whirlpool that takes us down to Dark Lake Hylia. So we can do that. You can also use that to get over to Palace of Darkness and Catfish if you need to get there but haven't got the haven't like beaten Aghanim, but the hammer or something is over there. You could use that too. This is actually where we need to go. Make sure you don't take a hit on the deep water. Taking a hit on the shallow water, as you saw there, is fine. That is allowed. But don't take a hit on the deep water, otherwise you are screwed. Okay, so from here, trying to think where the logic actually wants me to go. I think it might want me to get the first chest in Agra Tower, is what I'm thinking at the moment, because I have the sword to do that. It could also be Agina's cave, I suppose. I've not actually gone down there yet. But I'm going to use this sequence broke lamp in order to go a bit further up here. I mean, I don't need to use the lamp to get this, but again, I want the fire source around, because it's possible that I need that for actually getting another item. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I think it's either Agina's cave or that one. Yeah, it has to be either Agina's cave or that one item in Castle Tower I can get at the moment. But I want to get the other small key before... No, I want a small key for the tower before I go there. Small key for Misery Maya. You don't really need small keys in Misery Maya. Like, one small key is a good safety net for it, but you don't really need all the small keys for that. But it is nice to just have them around. I didn't get the fasting up there. That's fine. There's a compass. I guess that is something we could go for. There is a lot of money there. Don't really need that money at the moment, so I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that. Oh, I guess we could also check Bombo's tablet, huh? Because I do have the mirror and the book, so Bombo's tablet could also be our progress. Alright, so there are a couple of places. I'm just gonna skip that compass. I don't even care. There are a couple of places to go that aren't a sequence break that I can immediately think of, so we do have some other places to check. But for now, let's just go ahead and do Tower of Terror, because why not? I do have the big key for this place. I don't have the small key though, so we're going to be leaving one item behind in here. I think that is reasonably acceptable. Let's see what this small key is. It is Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace only has one small key, so that is exceptionally good to find. Because, yeah, it's difficult to find that one. You only need one small key to get through that place, but if you don't find that small key, oh boy. You are being locked out of 9 items potentially in that dungeon, so definitely happy to see it. Don't know why I went around the other side for that there, because I could have just one-shot it from below, but I don't usually get up here with Tempered Sword, so I kind of forgot. My bad. Doesn't matter. Okay, so from here we can get this, which is a small key for, again, for Misery Maya. Not too useful at this point. Just 20 rupees, so we might not even get anything too great up here, but this could also be a crystal that we need, so that's fine. Not to mention, we have the hammer, so and the hookshot, obviously, but Really? Ah, I hate when I mess that up. We do have the hammer to just go straight to East Death Mountain from over here. Hopefully we would get Titan's Mid over there too. That would be the ideal scenario. So if I got Titan's Mid over there, then I could do Darkworld Death Mountain too. And that is a very powerful combination. Just have to see if that pans out. Also, don't be a butt, hold on. With Tempered Sword, 1 spin, 1 slash is all you need. So that is good. And Moldorm is gonna drop a key. It's a key for Turtle Rock. You need at least 3 keys for Turtle Rock if you are going to just clear the dungeon. But if you want to get the big key chest as well, you need all 4. But that's fine, because we're not really too fussed about that right now. It is Green Pendant after all. I don't necessarily want to finish it because it's a pendant. But the game might make me finish it anyway. Who knows? That is fine. So we get to see on the floating island, it is a bomb capacity. Nothing too exciting. That's fine. You don't necessarily want it to be super exciting because you don't necessarily want to have to go through it. But it is always interesting to note what it is. I have not yet had anything super significant up there, but I have had a couple of small keys, so I've had to go through anyway. But not the case this time. So there are 7 items left over here that we can get. Hopefully we get something good out of at least one of them. That would be nice. So if you have the mirror, you can... Oh, it's the right hand side. The left hand side is not where you want to go. But I think you can actually hookshot to some fairies over there in that particular place. So despawn the block using the mirror. Use the bomb to get over this. And I guess actually I could do Spike Cave as well. There's our flute, so sequence breaking has yielded something good. Yeah, I could go back and do Spike Cave as well, right? Do I have... I don't have an invincibility item for it, and I don't think I have enough health. Like, I don't have a healing item, right? There's our Titan's Mid, so wow, I was actually right on that. So I wonder what progress I'm missing then. Big key for Desert, okay, that's pretty good. Small key for Palace of Darkness. Yeah, the Desert big key is good because I do have the book. Oh, that's... Yeah, I have the book, so I could have gone into Desert Palace as well. Desert Palace probably has the flippers then. The flippers have to be what's locking progress right now, because the flute being up on the mountain means that the lamp, by the logic, is required in order to get up to Death Mountain. Which means that the flippers are required in order to go and get the lamp. So in one of the places I haven't checked yet, Aghanim's Tower or Desert or Bombers Tablet, you know, that general area, one of those places has got to have the flippers. That's pretty much the conclusion right now. Palace of Darkness, I guess, could have it. So it's not a sure thing, but it's as good as. So that's useful information to know. Because I'm probably going to need the flippers, because I think Swamp Palace... Have we got the thing for that yet? We don't. But Blue Pendant is ice, so that means Turtle Rock, Palace of Darkness, and Ice Palace are the Pendant dungeons. So Swamp Palace is required, which means that I am going to need to find the flippers at some point. Even if I don't need them for anything else, which is a little bit unlikely, but even if I don't need them for anything else, I need them for that. There's Cane of Burner, so that'll let us do Spike Cave. That's worked out pretty nicely. Swamp Palace Compass, don't really care. Small Key for Palace of Darkness. We're amassing quite a few of those at this point. Which is a bit of a shame that it's a pendant dungeon. But I do have all the tools to finish it, so you know, Actually, do I have the big key for it? I do. So I actually do have the tools to do Palace of Darkness right now. If I get maybe one more small key for it, then that actually is a reasonable place to go, I think. So here, just get this out nice and ready. Just make sure I use it now. The reason I'm using it now is because if I needed to use a potion for whatever reason, say I bonked on there. Small key for Palace of Darkness. Okay, so if I could get the hammer jump, I actually could get every item in pod right now. That's kind of useful to know. Oh, I should have gone and activated the flute. I don't know what I'm doing this. No, because I still want to check the Bombos tablet, so it's fine. I was going to save quit out there, but I'm like, no, check Bombos first. And I guess if Bombos has the flippers, then I just go in and do Swamp Palace right now. That would probably make the most sense. So, hope for that, I suppose, because that'd be kind of nice. Just get that done in one fell swoop. I have a lot of stuff for Desert Palace too, so Desert Palace is going to be a pretty reasonable place to go as well. And that lamp would actually help out a lot to do Desert, so that's pretty good. So here, what do we have? We have another bee. Oh, the bees. I probably should have checked Agino whilst I was there. But I just want to go activate that flute, man. Is that so much to ask? I just want to go to the flute. That's going to take me to Misery Mire anyway, so I'll do Mire and Desert together. Well, I say together. I can't really go into Misery Mire right now, but I'll check out what it needs. I'll do the desert stuff, and that'll be when I check Agina. So, that's fine. What else can we do then, once I've got that? Because I guess, yeah, doing the the Agra Tower stuff, I really don't want to do that without one small key for the tower. Because I could only check one item if I did it right now. Which just seems like a bad idea, right? It just seems like a bad play. So I'd rather not do that. But if I do find one for Castle Tower, that is a reasonable option too. Palace of Darkness is looking like a solid play as well right now. So this needs Bombos as well. So we only need Bombos in order to... Can I please just get anything? We only need Bombos in order to actually get all of the stuff here. Like both Medallion dungeons are Bombos. So I need Bombos, I need Fire Rod, and I need like Ganon Tower, Big Key and stuff. The thing with this mode is like Go mode itself is a bit of a nebulous concept in comparison. Small key for Feast Town, okay. Oh yeah, because I need the big key for Feast Town too, because I don't have that right now. The small key for Feast Town is nice. Again, there's only one of them, and that means that you can check the big chest when you get down there. So it's good to have that. Obviously not a mandatory thing all the time, but that's okay. Silvers is definitely good. We'll take those. So it's kind of good that I haven't actually needed to go ahead and use my my bow yet, because now I have silvers to make it even better. So there's our Bombos. That's really good. Maybe I could go ahead and check Misery Mire right now then. Misery Mire could have... can't have the flippers because it is locked by the flute, which is locked by the lamp, which is locked by the flippers. So that isn't a thing. There's the flippers. I kind of said could well be over here. So that now means that I am pretty much back on the sequence here. I didn't want to check the map. I wanted to check... Yeah, I do have the big key, so... Let's go open the big chest. I should have done that on the way through, but it's fine. Not a big problem. And yeah, I can actually go ahead and do Ice Palace if I really wanted to, because I do have bombers. So yeah, that's a potential check, but it's a pendant, so I don't really want to do that. Skullwood Small Key is entirely useless at this stage, but it's fine. We can deal with it. Yeah, I think I probably should go into Misery Mire as a check soon. Like, once I'm done with this area, just go into Mire. That actually doesn't seem unreasonable. Because I can do everything in Mire except the boss right now. And Misery Mire actually has quite a few chests. There are like 3 small keys in chest in Misery Mire. So it's actually quite a lucrative dungeon in this mode. Because normally there'd only be 2 items in there, but in this mode there's like 7. Because of the shuffling of all of its small keys and stuff. So it's kind of funny the way that this works, because obviously every dungeon has more items potentially, but some dungeons, because of their high like small key counts and low regular item counts, have a far greater impact on this mode. Palace of Darkness is the biggest one because there are 14 chests in that dungeon, which is why I'm kind of like, I should probably go there soon, because I imagine we're going to find lots of good stuff there. But Misery Mire is a good one for it. Tower of Hera can be quite good for it. There are 6 items there instead of the usual 2. This place is quite good. Again, 6 items instead of 2. What else is good? Turtle Rock can be quite good because it has 4 small keys. And the other one that I tend to like the looks of is... well, again, Misery Mire, because it's got lots of small keys in the chest. So yeah, it's just kind of cool seeing the differences. Like, some quote-unquote strategies are different in terms of what dungeons you want to check when, just because of what you've got available. So the one thing I need to not forget when I'm leaving here is to not forget to check Agina. That is the most important thing here, because I like to be thorough, but for some reason I didn't check that when I was in before, so oops. I'm not really expecting to find the Cane of Samaria in this dungeon, to be honest, but what I am hoping for is that I find a key for a different dungeon, like say the Swamp Palace key, or maybe the Fire Rod in here. That would be quite good, because the Fire Rod would be pretty helpful right now. Because without the Fire Rod I can't exactly pull the... well, I say pull the pedestal as if I really want to do that. We know that I don't have to do that. But without the Fire Rod I can't do, say, Turtle Rock to try and get Ganon's Tower Big Key. Because that is still the biggest one that's at large at the moment is that. So, I need to find that. It could still be in Ganon's Tower, but it's much, much less likely that it is. And obviously I would like to have it before I get up there, just to make it easier. But you can sort of see the general way that this mode progresses. It's as much about finding the tools to do the dungeons as it is, you know, in terms of progressing through them. There is a big key, and it is Ganon's Tower Big Key. There we go. So that is pretty good. Once I get up to Ganon's Tower, I do not have to open any chests in that dungeon. I can get the item, I can get like the small key. If I don't find one of the 3 or 4 small keys for Ganon's Tower that are out in the world, there is a small key. Menuing, please. There is a small key that I can get in the pot to the left hand side, so I don't actually need to find any small keys for that tower. It is just find a big key and you're done. There's the cape, which lets me get what was it that was on the ledge again? I feel like there was something useful on that ledge. I don't think there was, actually. I mean, I'm thinking of the wrong seed. I think it was only a piece of heart that was on the ledge. So that's fine. I know it wasn't anything crazy like the fire rod, so we're good. It's the one thing about having the lamp here, and you can see the lamp definitely has come in handy now, being able to sequence break that. Because I could have gotten it after getting the flippers in Desert, but having the lamp, you know, for Desert Palace has basically just let me do things faster here. So this is the power that can lie within being able to do these little tricks. Is that if it turns out that the seed, you know, wants you to back and forth, you can sometimes skip some of that back and forth by having access to things earlier than you should. So that's pretty good. Nice shield block there, actually. I keep forgetting that there's a fireball spinner there that activates when you do dash into that portal. So fire shield coming in handy. I would have taken damage there if I didn't have it. So good to see. We have 2 more chests I can open in this dungeon. And then we need to do a Gina. Yay! Totally what we want to be doing, am I right? But it's okay, because I have other places that I can go. There is, of course, Palace of Darkness, as I keep mentioning. There's like 14 items in there. That is a pretty lucrative option. And the other main one is the Swamp Palace, which has 10 items that I can get 9 of right now. The map for Ganon's Tower, that is also a completely useless item, but it's fine. Yeah, so there's a couple of places I can still go that are very lucrative, and that is fine by me. I don't remember where I need to be actually here. Oh, well, clearly not there. Yeah, I kind of forget the layout for this place. Not gonna lie, because I don't normally mirror out in that sort of area. Wow, how did I not bonk there? That was impressive. Alright, I don't have the big key for Swamp. Yeah, so I'm missing 1 chest in Swamp Palace if I go in there right now. My options are go to Swamp, go to Ice, or go to Palace of Darkness. If I do Palace of Darkness, did I get the Eastern big key yet, actually? That's the map for Tower of Hera. I did not get the big key, or did I? Let me have another look. No, I haven't got the big key for Eastern yet. So if I went Palace of Darkness, I wouldn't be able to combo that with Eastern. So that kind of makes me want to do Swamp Palace first. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is if I do Swamp first, there are still 9 items I can get out of here. Hopefully one of those leads me towards maybe the Thieves Town area, like Thieves Town, Skull Woods, that sort of thing, because those are dungeons I have to complete. And from there, I think it really just depends on what we get out of that. Because I don't have the big key. That's what I was looking at there. I don't have the big key for Thieves Town yet. So I need the big key for Thieves Town, the big key for Easton, and the Fire Rod and the Cane of Samaria. That's what we're still looking for at the moment. Which, I don't know, that's not the worst set of items that I could be looking for. There is still that 1 chest that I keep talking about in Hyrule Castle as well, in Aghanim's Tower. But as I mentioned a few times, I want a key for that place before I go there. And yeah, you can see the 1 out of 10 here. This dungeon has like 6 items normally, but is much less valuable, if you will, in this mode. Like, it still has 10 items, don't get me wrong, that's a lot. But it's less valuable because you don't have nearly so many dungeon items in here compared to some of the other areas. So it's like you can get 10 items out of here, which is, I think, the 3rd highest. I mean, Turtle Rock, I think, has maybe the same. No, Turtle Rock has got more. So you've got Turtle Rock that's got more, you've got Palace of Darkness that's got more. This is still the third highest, like, per item, like, count. This is still the third highest density in the game. That's not even the right words, I'm just saying words at this point. It's the third highest area, third highest, like, item count to go in a dungeon, but it is devalued compared to what it would be in vanilla, because it's 6 items in vanilla, which is the highest of any dungeon. Now it's only third highest. But still, I don't know why I was facing that direction there, but we'll just have to go with it, I suppose. Another thing is, since you're effectively just 100%ing the stuff anyway, you really don't want to skip stuff here. There's my Castle Tower Small Key, so now the 2 items in that dungeon a little bit more appealing to go to. I'm bonking a lot here. Probably should stop doing that. So just don't flood the small key here, and you're fine. This is a little bit more of an efficient way around of getting the small key here, but don't flood it. Although, public service announcement, if you do flood it, go and get the 2 chests on the other side first and then reset this place, because otherwise you are wasting time and you don't want to do that. Because if you have to, like, redrain this again, it's going to waste a lot of time. Just go and get the chest, then mirror out, and then reset the room. Just a heads up, because I see a lot of people don't do that. And I've not done that in the past as well. Like, it does take a little bit of thinking about, and it's not a situation you ever want to put yourself in. But it's just if you accidentally do it, you should probably know how to rectify it without costing yourself too much time. Okay, so we got 2 chests over here, and then there's like 5 chests at the back of the dungeon. Well, 4 chests at the back of the dungeon, if you count the boss as a chest, which I kind of do. So that's pretty cool. We'll be able to get more stuff out of that. Nothing useful over here, but that is fine. That is just the way it goes. I have a lot of 5s in my inventory right now. We have 5 items out of 10. We have 655 rupees. We have 15 or 15 bombs. 55 arrows. Not 5 small keys though. That's that would be Palace of Darkness, no doubt. So that's fine. So unfortunately, can't open that chest right now. Not a problem. We're just gonna have to ignore it for now and just hope that it doesn't have what I need. If it does, I might be a little bit sad, but oh well. Such is randomizer. If I have to come back in for that one chest, then things are gonna be a little bit rough. But at least we have found like the Ganon Tower big key. That is the biggest one to think of here. It is also possible, by the way, for big keys and actually small keys as well to Pendant dungeons. It is very possible for them to be in Ganon's Tower as well. Man, there is not a lot here, is there? I have not really been able to pick up anything useful out of this dungeon, which is a bit of a shame and a bit of a surprise too, considering. There's a gold sword at least, so it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but as I get chastised for not calling it butter sword in commentary stuff, but it doesn't even matter. That at least is okay. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but it does marginally speed some things up. It's one of those that, unlike going to Tempered Sword for Master, like that makes a gigantic difference. Butter Sword really doesn't have that going for it, but what it does do is it does just let you kill a lot of the stuff in 1 or maybe 2 hits that would normally be a little bit more annoying. This fight did not go very well, but that's okay. So I could switch to Silvers here. I'm going to choose not to, because I'm lazy. I will go ahead and bring them around here though. I do have one of the 5-6 crystals too. That's pretty handy. Small key for Ganon's Tower. Well, I don't necessarily need it, but that just adds to the niceness of things, because now I don't have to do anything but go straight up the tower when I get there. So I'm not unhappy to see that. Alright, what do we got here? We do not have the other 5-6 crystal, so I can safely ignore that for now. And I think I'm gonna go Palace of Darkness at this point. I don't like not having the big key for Eastern, so not being able to combine the two of them right now is a bit of an annoyance. But I think this is just the best direction to go in. Like, this just makes the most sense to me to do. So, like I said, there are 14 items here. If I could do the hammer jump, I think I can get all of them right now. So, it is just checking the places with the highest density right now. Like, the most items that I can get per minute here. With the Titan's Mint, I can do the other stuff at Village of Outcasts. So I can do the purple chest, the blacksmith, the hammer pegs. That might be a good excuse to go and double check the bumper cave as well, because I don't actually remember what's there. So might be worth doing that. But yeah, with 4 small keys and the big key for this dungeon, there's so many items I can get here. And that is actually a small key for this dungeon, so I don't even have to do the hammer jump here, which is pretty good. I don't necessarily mind doing the hammer jump, but I'm not the most proficient at it, so I will take an excuse not to do it, basically. Let's just do that there. So, the text there, you saw there was no text for the small key in this dungeon. So if you do find a dungeon item within the dungeon itself, it will not bring up a text box. Mostly that's just for small keys, but you know. Oh, actually thinking about it, no, there were 6 keys here and I've only had 5, so I think I do still need to do the hammer jump. Yeah, because if I don't do the hammer jump, then I'm not going to be able to get to Helmus over here. Because I used a small key on that main doorway there. Probably a mistake to do that, but oh well. Well, let's just hope I can do it then, because that is a bit of a problem. Sometimes I get that where I'm maybe a little bit too overeager in that room. It just doesn't quite work out. That's fine. So what else we got? We have got Heart Piece, not really too great. Still looking for all the same stuff that we were before. But you can sort of see it's a bit more exciting opening some of the chests here actually, because you just really don't know what you're gonna get. Which I don't know, is kind of cool. Oops, I actually didn't want to do that. You want to throw the bomb because you need to actually be able to get across there. Okay. So before I do commit to the hammer jump here, I'm gonna need to get all the stuff at the top here. Because I want to avoid using a small key on that door. That's functionally what we're at here. There's a compass for Eastern, not that that's really going to make a difference. Because I need to get this chest. And so I am 1 key short because of opening that middle door. Wasn't really thinking. Definitely not required, but now it saves me having to do the Helmasaur room, so thanks. Alright, I do have a lot of hearts. So, at the very least, I have a lot of tries at this. Let's see if we can get this. So, I've been trying to learn a pause buffer for this recently, which lets me go ahead and see. I think that is right. That should be good. Nope, one too high. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to learn a pause buffer for this because that is the safest way of doing this. Trying to think, is that where we are at with that? Actually, I'm not even looking at the right spot here, am I? Yeah, so I am not remotely proficient with this, obviously. Need to be a bit quicker about it, though. That should work. Oh, one low? Really? Okay. So, that sucks. This is easily, like, the weakest thing for me at the moment, and it doesn't help when, like, the sun starts coming in and being a butt as well, so it messes up my view of that, I think. Let's go with that. There we go. So, took me a couple of tries to get it, unfortunately. I don't mind that too much. Yeah, you've really got to be careful with your key usage in this, because you can mess yourself up if you're not careful. I mean, this is sort of making me think now that this isn't actually where I need to be. But at the same time, like, I could have gotten these items. Just rupees. Wow, so are we seriously going to see all 14 items of this dungeon be absolutely useless? That's incredible, actually. Huh. Really not happy about that. But okay, whatever. Just gotta go and kill Helmasaur now. So the little thing that I was looking for there, because I wasn't really obviously discussing that much, what I was looking for in the pause buffer there is if you have a look at the sort of like shield light pattern that's on the walls there, I was looking for a specific pixel where that turned dark again. Like, I was looking to get it just in between the circles. So yeah, it's obviously really hard to see when the screen is shaking as well. That's kind of stupid, but there's a shading part of it where it goes from the light gray pixels to the dark gray pixels, and the one that you need to set the bomb on for the hammer jump just so happens to be at the boundary of those. So I was looking for that boundary in my pause buffer there. Clearly I still need to improve that a little bit because I didn't get it a couple of times there, but it's okay. This room went about as well as expected. So I'm gonna have to go Ice Palace after this for sure. And I don't especially like having to go pendant to pendant here. But I'm trying to think what else I would want to do. Maybe I should take a stop at the castle tower first. Do Agra Tower real quick. Because Agra Tower does have 2 items that I can get. Unless I get the Eastern Big Key here. That would actually be pretty good if I did. So, just take him out. Gold Sword is obviously super strong. Alright, the rest of this dungeon was entirely worthless, so what have you got for me? A small key, 4 Skull Woods, yay! Alright, this place was utterly useless. And I'm kind of sad now. So that's actually really annoying that this place had literally nothing in it. Because, again, there are 14 items in there. I think, actually, both that and Swamp, 2 of the highest density areas in the game, both had absolutely nothing there. The only other Pendant dungeon, of course, that isn't, like, ice here is Turtle Rock. I can't do Turtle Rock because I don't have the Canis Samaria. But you gotta think that Turtle Rock at this stage is looking like it's gonna have something, you know? Which is irritating, to say the least. So, yep. Gonna go over and check the stuff in the tower. Then from the tower, I can just flute away. And I suppose I could go and check. I didn't get the spin speed again. I suppose I could go and check the stuff in the village of Outcasts before I do Ice Palace. Just in case that actually does turn out to be where I need to be going here. So this is a nice and quick check as well. It takes a little bit to get here, which is a shame, but the actual check itself is pretty fast, especially when you've got gold swords, you just one-shot everything. So go ahead and do that. There are only 2 items, but proportionally it doesn't take that long, because the other chest is in this room right here. So you really don't have to go very far. It's pretty good. So there, just a heart piece. One of these days there is going to be the big key for Ganon's Tower in there, and it's going to be funny. Alright. Yeah, let's go do Village of Outcast stuff first, rather than do an Ice Palace immediately, because this basically clears up all of the overworld. I think this is actually the last areas in the overworld that I would have to do. Plus it does give me an excuse to go check, because I don't remember if there was a key there. Because I'm kind of getting confused with yesterday's race with DT, because that race had the Bomb Burst Medallion at this particular spot, where that was needed for Misery Maya, and Misery Maya had the last big key that I needed. So, oh, it is a big key that's up here. Okay, so I got confused. If that's the big key for Eastern, that's going to be really annoying. Because I should have remembered this. I don't know why I forgot. It's almost definitely going to be one of the keys that I need. So, a little bit on the painful side. Maybe it's the Thieves' Town big key, though. That'd be good. Nope, it's the Swamp Palace one. Great, so I have to go back there at this point now. That sucks. I did it to myself. I should have done that beforehand, but I forgot that it was a big key that was up there. So that is entirely my fault. Whatever. From here, we do still have some items to get down here. 3 items in total if you count the chest. So we'll do that. And then it's a case of, do I go back into Swamp? I mean, it is only 1 item, whereas Ice Palace is a lot more, but it's all about being thorough, right? Nah, I can go back to Swamp if Ice doesn't have anything. So nice little dash here. And this item is... Dun, 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 dun. It's a map that I don't care about. I don't really care about getting maps anymore because I know what dungeons I have to do. The only thing that I could possibly want a map for is the 5-6 crystal. That's the only thing that I could want a map for at this point, because I know that Turtle Rock is green pendant, and I know that the other 5-6 crystal is something I have. Misery Maya Small Key, totally useful, not really. Oh man. Kind of getting shafted by a lot of the stuff here, but this is what happens in Randomizer quite often. We haven't actually found a progression item, I think, for about half an hour by now. And yeah, like I said, this is just how it goes sometimes. Where you end up just not finding anything for a while. And it's a bit of a shame, but what are you gonna do, you know? That is also not progression. But I think, like I've said, that does completely clear the overworld at this stage. So, everything else, I mean, Ice Palace is pretty much the only place that something can be. I was actually considering coming in here earlier, but I did not want to do this. Because I thought that the other places would have more things in them. That turned out not to be the case. I don't remember how many items are in here. I think there are 3 small keys in chests, which would make 8 items in total. I think that's how it goes. So that's fine. This isn't even green pendant, so there aren't other items in it. But whatever. You know what? If I can get all of the stuff I need out of this dungeon, which is what? Feast Town Big Key is probably the biggest one. Eastern Palace Big Key. Cane of Samaria, Fire Rod. We're still looking for the same freaking items that we were before. That is none of them. I do actually only have 1 small key for this dungeon. I thought I had more, but apparently not, so that's fine. I only really need the 1 small key for this dungeon. In fact, even then, you can get away without having the small key for this dungeon. I hate you. So because I don't have Cane of Samaria, I'm definitely going to do the bomb jump here. I often skip this bomb jump when I don't need to do it, but I kind of need to this time, so... Cane of Samaria makes it much nicer, but we don't have that, so... That's why we have the thing set there. It's apparently why we're freaking getting hit all the stupid time. This room is the worst. Those spikes are really irritating. Face the right direction would help. Oh, that wasn't right. Okay. Honestly, that looked pretty right to me, so... that I knew wasn't right. Man, I am tilting on the bomb jumps right now, huh? That's not... Sometimes this just happens where you end up just not getting the stuff that you expect to get. It's a pain, but it's what you've got to deal with. So here, just a nice simple spin strat. And I'm gonna go to the right hand side first here, because there are 3 items in this area that I can get. So we'll go ahead and pick these up. Yeah, I do have the big key for this dungeon, obviously, so I can get the big chest as well. That is not a problem. And the reason to go this way first is because it replenishes your small key anyway. It's a small key for Turtle Rock. Oh man. We might still have to go there as well. That's the annoying thing. But right now, no Cane of Samaria. That was weird. A little glitch step there. Yeah, no Cane of Samaria, so I can't even do Turtle Rock even if I want to. So it's just kind of funny that you get locked up so much when you're looking for like a couple of different things. Nothing but red rupees. Man. This is harsh. So if it isn't here, surely it's got to be the big chest in Swamp Palace then. That's the only other location I can think of. So go ahead and grab this. More red rupees. Wow, this is really not turning out the way I thought it would. Let's just get myself set here. That might be too far across actually. Nope, okay. That's not a difficult bomb jump to do, but if you're trying to do it too quickly, you can often get yourself messed up by it, so just keep that in mind, I suppose. So we got 1 chest down here, we got the big chest, and then we got Cold Stare. That is not a helpful item. I mean, Red Potion is not awful, but that is not a useful item. Oh man. Yeah, this really isn't turning out the way that I thought it would right now. I suppose that's just part of the fun of it though, right? So now we just want to get the hookshot clip over here. Which again doesn't yield us anything, so Cold Stare gotta have the item. We've seriously just gone through 3 full dungeons with a combined total of about 30 items between them. And we have found absolutely nothing. That is incredible, actually. And I'm gonna have to go back to one of those as well, just to get the freaking big chest. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Now that I sort of put that into words, it's like, holy hell, that does not feel good. Especially when 2 of these were actually pendant dungeons as well. Oh look, it's the big key for Feast Town. Okay, so we actually have a different place that I can go now. Okay. So this was required. At the very least, we did get to progress now. So Feast Town still has 4 items available. That's good. Because one of those 4 is probably going to be what I need to actually do something else here. It's most likely just to be the biggest troll, right? It's most likely going to be Cane of Samaria, which then means that Turtle Rock has the big key that I need. That would be kind of irritating. Or like Turtle Rock has the Fire Rod on the Laser Bridge, and then the big key for Easton is at Trinex. Wouldn't that be a hoot? Anyway. I've already done the first 4 here, so I can just skip straight through, which is good. You can see 4 out of 8, so we do have some more stuff to pick up. At the very least, doing all of those dungeons, we did get that, like, one thing that I needed. So, you know, 1 item out of 30 or more than 30 items checked in there, though, is pretty nasty. That's quite unlucky, but again, I'm now just hoping that the Swamp Palace big chest doesn't have something that I need as well, because that would be extremely unfortunate right now. Alright. I also realize I have not really used my bow much for anything at this point. Like, I've used it for the mimics that I had to use it for, and nothing else. This is just kind of typical with me. I don't overly like using the bow in a lot of situations. It's not a bad item, but the delay on it and the relative difficulty in hitting does actually make it quite tricky to use. Small key for Gana's Tower, don't really need that. That is 3rd small key now. And I'm not picking up any chests in that tower, so definitely do not need that. So we still got 3 items to get, and again, if it's not here, it's got to be Swamp Palace, or I actually didn't see if this is the other 5-6 crystal, then the Pyramid Fairy could have something as well. That would be pretty cool. Just to see, like, her come into play here, that would be quite neat. So there is a lot of like double dipping and stuff in this mode for dungeons, but it doesn't necessarily feel quite as bad. There's Cane of Samaria. Okay. It doesn't usually feel quite so bad when you have to do the double dip stuff here. Alright, but if I go and get Misery Mire. Yeah, I do Misery Mire after this, just like finish off that dungeon. And then that would almost definitely get me the 5-6 crystal. So what am I looking for? Fire Rod and the big key for Eastern Palace. Those are the 2 things that I still need. The Fire Rod would let me do Skull Woods. The Eastern Palace big key lets me get 2 items out of there. Broken pencils are pointless. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be a sub 2 seed. Uncle lied to us. But to be fair, you kind of expect that. I have sub 2 1 seed of my 4 in Keysanity at the moment, but it is actually very difficult to do sub 2 in this mode. There's a small key for Palace of Darkness that I really don't need anymore because I've already done the hammer jump to skip that. Okay. So it is only for one item, but it is also for a crystal. Going to Misery Mire at the moment seems like the right play to do. That is not the other 5/6 crystal that was at Thieves Town though. So let's go ahead and do that. Just kill off Vitreous. It's not like Vitreous is going to take a lot of time when you have the tools that I do. Because Vitreous kind of relies on having a ton of HP, and guess what's really good at taking a ton of HP off? The Silver Arrows. Gold Sword's pretty good too, but it's mostly about the Silver Arrows, let's be honest. So we'll go ahead, take this out right now. And once we're done here, Turtle Rock, I guess. Because I really don't want to go back into Swamp Palace for that one thing. So I think it has to be Turtle Rock from here. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because it's a crystal that I need anyway. So I may as well just go ahead and do it. It doesn't make sense to leave this place behind. Funny how that lamp has actually turned out to be quite important though. Because that getting the lamp has been kind of mandatory for doing a lot of the dungeon stuff here. Which, I mean, you ideally would like to skip the lamp because you could just use the fire rod instead of the lamp. But you don't always get that luxury. In fact, you don't often get that luxury, so it is nice to be able to just use the lamp for once. Oh, taking damage where I don't normally do so. That doesn't really matter. And the other nice thing, I guess, about a lot of these double dips, at least the way that I've done them at the moment, is that most of them, I just get to go mode the dungeon from there. Like, it's a fast recheck, so that's kind of good. I don't think I ever got the Tower of Hera Small Key, did I? That's another one that could lead to something. I don't think I got it. I'll have to check when I next go in the menu. Yeah, keeping menu times low in this mode is also pretty difficult. So, Silver Arrows, very, very good for this boss. You can't normally get Silver Arrows from him in vanilla, because you need to actually get the crystal from here. Yeah, I don't believe I do. That one is for Palace of Darkness. Castle Tower, so hey, I could defeat Agra if I wanted to now, right? Totally get that 20 rupees that was at Lumberjack. Also kind of funny with this mode, if you do get the text box appearing in the middle of the boss and stuff, it's funny seeing the discoloration stuff here. Okay, was that? That was not. Okay, so it's either Skull Woods or Eastern Palace is Crystal 5 and 6. Is Crystal 6 even. I could just check the map, but whatever. I guess we're gonna go Turtle Rock. There's not really a better play here. Swamp Palace could have a thing, but I'm not gonna take that chance at the moment. So the bad part about this is that the Fire Rod immediately locks 2 items in this dungeon. It locks 3 items in total because the boss also needs the Fire Rod. But yeah, it locks away 2 things. Can you not, please? Stupid Dead Rocks. I really don't like Dead Rocks. Least favorite enemy. Second least favorite being the stupid skull things that appear under grass and bushes in the Dark World. The ones that come to life. Because they just interrupt your dash and it's very, very rude. Don't like things that do that. And then sometimes if you get the wrong pistol with these things, these guys are just super irritating. But that is how they were designed, so whatever. I have a feeling there has to be something in here though. So, not what I'm after doing. So let's see. I had a visual glitch with this a couple of days ago as well, actually, where it was Bomb Burst that was displayed, but it actually needed Quake in order to open this. I was super confused as to why it wasn't working, but then, yeah, it was because it was using the wrong thing. It was kind of weird. Pretty bad bug to find, but at the same time. Alright, so there are 12 items in here. Yeah, 14 items in Palace of Darkness, 12 items in here. I only have 2 small keys for this dungeon. So I cannot actually get all of the stuff in here. Oh hey, it's the map of Skull Woods. That is totally a useful item and will be very required for all runs. Alright. Yeah, so I can't get all the stuff in here. I do need to be careful about using the keys. I can, I think, get to the laser bridge, but I can't go beyond there. And that is if I don't open the big key chest here. So, maybe the one chest in Swamp Palace was a small key for this dungeon? Yeah, this is a bit of a difficult one to sort of gauge, because you could easily mess yourself up in terms of key placement here. Mimic Cave is also an option from this bit though. That is like the only place in the overworld I still have to check. So we will do that on the way past as well. Remove those guys out of the picture because they are annoying. Make myself a little mushroom. Get that done. And then we are going to hopefully find a bunch of stuff in here that will help me progress. Because I don't like coming in here for no reason when it's a pendant. Would be nice. At least managed to get that room done nice and fast. That always feels good. So, I can't believe we still haven't found the fire rod yet. This is an hour and 40 minutes in, and I still haven't got the fire rod. That is bizarre, to say the least. Not that it's the earliest item I usually find, but I definitely don't normally take an hour and 40 minutes to find it. Jeez. Yeah, you don't even bother moving away from there. So you are... There is my fire rod. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. So now we just need the big key for Eastern Palace and we can go. Fire rod in Mimic Cave. Man. In Keysanity, that is very easily possible. In regular modes, that would be hecka hard to find. I don't have the big key for this dungeon. Oh, that complicates things a bit. I honestly thought I had the big key for this place. Alright, so that means I can only get 2 more items out of this dungeon then, which are the 2 that are locked behind the fire rod up here. Dang, that... Yeah, that makes things way trickier than I thought it would be. Oof. Watch the big key actually be one of these items now. I also probably should have checked the big key chest then. But, I don't know. I'm kind of expecting at this stage that the big key for Eastern Palace is actually in Skull Woods. That would be my expected value right now. But I do still want to check this for obvious reasons. You don't want to leave something like this behind. It could definitely come back to haunt you if you do. Oh, look. Doesn't matter. I can also use the mirror to go back to the other side from here, so it's not really that bad. Like, once I'm done with this here, I am terrible at doing this, so I really shouldn't even bother, but whatever. Just take all the hits because I can. Oh look, it's the map of desert that we've already cleared. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use that small key. Nice little clip you can do there, by the way. I'm going to use that small key to go and check the big key chest here. Because I'm pretty sure at this point that I won't get, like, punished for this now. And then when I'm done here, of course, we go check Skull Woods. But if this turns out... Ooh, I need to hit me. If this turns out to be the big key for... Eastern Palace, I would be extremely upset to have missed this. I seriously thought I had the big key for this dungeon now. No, it's a small key for this dungeon. Okay. Some things never change, even in Keysanity. Oh well. Skull Woods it is, and once again, if it's not Skull Woods, then it has to be... It has to be that chest in Swamp Palace, unless that chest in Swamp Palace is the big key for Turtle Rock. And then Trinex has it. Oh man. Or Sahashala has it, that'd be even worse, right? Because Trinex is Green Pendant. Oh, so many nasty possibilities here. The worst part of this is there are only 2 items left in this dungeon too, that I'm about to go into, so this is not the most likely of places for it to be. If it is though, if Eastern Big Key is here, I think we might just about scrape sub 2. If it's not, I think we're gonna have our work cut out. It's gonna be a little bit too difficult at that point to sub 2. Because I have 2 small keys already, I don't need to actually get the key that's in that pot. And whilst I'm here, I will be going straight to Moth. There's no reason for me to divert to get that chest first, because I will be using the mirror anyway, so it'll be basically 2 menus versus just the one here. Oh. So because I've got Gold Sword, I don't really fancy using my Fire Rod on these things. I don't really need to preserve the Fire Rod that badly because I do have Gold Sword, but... Oh my god, come on, Moldom! That's the worst RNG for Moldom I've seen, the mini Moldom there, I've seen in a while. And then picking up the magic pot there was just to make sure I did not get grabbed in the transition there, because that can happen. Can you move off the spikes, please? This fight doesn't let you hit Moth when he's on the spikes, so obviously you want to avoid that if you can. It's a big key. It's the big key for Eastern. We are in go mode. This could still be sub 2. This should still be sub 2 because I have all the stuff for it. Wow, that is something else. So even though we spent like half an hour not finding anything, at least half an hour, we might still get the sub 2 here. Because that is go mode. The only thing that I needed was that key. That actually was Crystal 6 too, so the Pyramid Fairy could have been a thing there. Kind of interesting in a way. Alright, so go here, and then just get the bow out preemptively, because that is the item that I need. I didn't get spin speed, but that's fine, we'll try again here. Yep, got it here. And then get hit, because that Octorok is a butt. Up you go. How did I get hit by the sword there? Come on, I was miles away from the bottom of that. Whatever, doesn't matter. This is our final crystal, and then we just need to go back up to Gander's Tower. We already have the big key for Gander's Tower because that was in Misery Mire. And we have already cleared out Misery Mire, so like I said, final dungeon here. And then we get to go. So overall, this has been interesting. It was kind of annoying not getting anything for the mid-game because I checked so many other places. But as it turned out, it was Ice Palace Cold Stare having the big key for Thieves Town to get Canis Samaria next to Blind, to go to Turtle Rock to get Fire Rod in Mimic Cave was the chain that I needed to go on. Can't really guess that that's how it's gonna go down, so I'm not like upset with it per se. Like, I'm a little bit annoyed, but I'm not It's not anything that is out of the ordinary for Rando, so that's okay. But it's just kind of funny because had I gotten the big key out of Ice Palace first, I would have never gone into Palace of Darkness. I would have never gone into... well, I would have still gone Swamp, obviously, because that's a crystal. But I would have never done Pod at all. And I would have saved a whole bunch of time off of that. Alright, so Armor Knights, obviously they normally take 3 arrows. When you've got silvers, they just get wiped off the face of the earth, which is fine by me. And yeah, the only thing we didn't get in the end was Quake. Wonder where that ended up. I could always look, because I do have a spoiler log as an option. Like, I haven't downloaded it or anything, but I do still have the webpage open that I made the seed with, so... that is still something I could look at, but that would be silly, right? Why would I do that? I mean, I don't have half magic either, so maybe it'd be kind of interesting to go and have a look. Yeah, because I even found the bug net. I mean, who finds the bug net? Seriously. Turned out to be a bit of a blessing not having the key, the big key for Turtle Rock though. Because I would have done the rest of Turtle Rock there first. There'd be no reason not to at that stage. So, turns out not having Turtle Rock Big Key, pretty good idea. You know, it's funny in a way that the more I'm looking at this seed is still going to take less time than some of the regular seeds that I played. Like that Cherno one took freaking ages. This is actually going to take less time than that. That's insane. So all that really is left is the tower climb. This is where like raw execution comes into play, which is not my specialty, I will admit. The little tricks and stuff are where I specialize. But even then, like, I have seen some stuff recently that has made me reconsider my my specialties in this game. Like, holy crap. I believe it was Dory, I think, I can't pronounce the name probably, but like, Gizelshaft, I think is the way you pronounce it. Her versus Walking Eye in the tourney recently, like one of her last matches. She put her heart and soul into that match, and oh my goodness, the tricks that she had. She had some of the fanciest plays I have ever seen in this game. Like, way better than anything I've ever come up with. It was really nice having Super Scudge as one of the commentators for that one, because he is basically the encyclopedia for this game when it comes to awesome tricks that you can do. And it was really nice just having that commentary there, and someone are going, oh yeah, like I came up with this like 2 days ago and she's already mastered it, sort of trick level. Absolutely insane. Yeah, so obviously we have the big keys, you would need it there. And we have multiple keys for this tower, so there is no reason to open any chest in this dungeon whatsoever. So we will not. Never picked up the compass for this dungeon, so you don't get to see the 0 out of 27 on there. But that is fine. That is also not really that important. So, yeah. That's pretty much been it. Very interesting mode. I'm definitely glad I got to show such a relatively interesting seed here. It was kind of fun just seeing the stuff at the start. It was pretty good. Can you like pick up the pot when I tell you to? I normally use the fire rod for this room, but because I've got single magic, I don't really want to do that, but these guys are being exceptionally annoying. I should have just used the fire rod anyway. Seriously, what the hell? Get wrecked already. Jesus. That room has never gone that badly for me before, so go figure. Can't even get the snipe. This guy! Get down here. Yeah, this is easily the worst gauntlet I have ever had. And even this didn't work out. Like, this guy just decided to run all the way across. Like, seriously? No doubt this has been the absolute worst gauntlet I've ever had. Like, I'm pretty sure you could do that better casually, though. You know, without knowing any speedrun stuff. I shot too early. Didn't even get to recover it either, man. Yeah. Awful, awful, awful floor 4. But that's fine. This is just a video after all. It's not like anybody's gonna watch this, right? Yeah. I mean, I do have a green potion, so I could have just gone ahead and used a fire rod there, but I wanted to preserve the magic, and maybe that was a bad idea. I probably should have also picked up that magic there, but it's okay. This room is just a little bit of RNG. It seems like it's always really awkward trying to get through those guys. Why didn't I pick up the pot there? Why did that have to happen? Man, this is really not going well. Like, unbelievably bad at the moment. Am I gonna despawn the tower here? No, because I didn't even get there in time, because that's how bad this is going. So we go here, light the torches. Make sure the bomb gets set properly in the next room. Because it's very easy for that to miss somehow. It's kind of silly. Get our health recovered with the powder. We do actually still get a full heal, which is kind of nice. And then here... just... don't fall off! Don't fall off! That's effectively how I got eliminated from the tourney, is because I fell off at this bit. I don't know if that was exactly it, but it was basically it. That I fell off in Modom 2 for the first time in, like, months. And that pretty much didn't let me win, as you would expect for falling off. And by win, like, I came 8th in the race. You needed to be top 6. So it was like, it was way too close, but this is a really bad pattern right now. Yeah, I didn't expect to get more than one hit out of that. That was just awful. And then blue ball as well, so that's pretty ugly. But a nice 1, 2, 3, so still a free cycle. I will happily accept that. That is actually a good Agra 2 fight, despite the initial fight looking pretty bleak. That's fine. Oh, so now we just have to beat the old pig himself, and we are definitely sub-2ing this. This fight should take about 2 minutes with the gold sword and the silvers. So, fun times. Why is there a light in the fridge? That's a good question, Ganon. So Ganon has some new text compared to what he had before. That's a new one. That definitely was not there before v27. So that's cool. I'm still gonna get hit anyway because I'm too close to the fire. I walked too close to the sun. Yeah, it doesn't really matter though because I do have a red potion still. So it is just a case of get the hits in as quick as you can. Nice, no teleport so far. Nice. One more hit and we are done with this phase. Nice, 0 teleport Ganon, that's really good. Find him in desert? Yes I did. Have some in your face. Ah, that was a perfect Ganon fight too. Really, really solid. He didn't teleport at the start, managed to get a double. Torch glitch isn't necessary when you've got silvers, but it is good just so that you can lock him in place there. And a nice and easy 2 hits. Could have gotten 3 hits off of that if I needed to. And we're done. 156.40. Pretty solid for a Keysanity run, I'll say. Quest is over indeed. There are some new Triforce texts as well. I've seen a couple of interesting ones, so look out for those as well if you are doing your own randomizer runs here. Alright, so not bad at all. It looked as if this was going to go much worse in that mid-game when I just wasn't finding anything. But as is often the case with Randomizer, once you get one thing going, it just snowballs, and that's pretty much how it went with the old finding the key to get to Cain, to get to Fire Rod. That's just how it went. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this mode. I sure thought it was a lot of fun. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be doing more of these than standard mode stuff at the moment. The standard mode is still fun, but I kind of like the exploration style of this one. It does take a little bit longer to do the actual run itself, so you have to set a little bit more time aside for it, but especially if you give boots at the start as well, I do actually think this is the more fun way to play the game. Definitely check out the custom mode though if you have not already done so. I'm sure you could do some pretty enjoyable things with that. Like if you're a bit less experienced with the game, you can actually put stuff like Butter Sword at the start. So, you know, you can have the higher power weapons to begin with, or you could just place... Can you dig it? Oh my goodness, mushroom to shovel? We never did see the mushroom in this seed, that's right. Mushroom to shovel. Interesting. Yeah, so definitely check out custom mode if you want to have a different experience with the game. I do expect to see some pretty fun seeds come out of that at some point. Destitute boy has lunch again. Why is destitute? Why? Oh well. That one's changed quite a bit as well, actually. Not entirely sure what all of the text is for that bit, but it's okay. Yeah, what else is there really to say? I like this mode that you can basically just always super go mode Ganon's Tower. You don't even have to check any of the chests there. I do like that. Narcissistic kid because he had the mirror. I like the fact that it puts more emphasis on the quote-unquote less important dungeons from the vanilla randomizer. Stuff like Misery Mire, like Skullwoods. These are places which often still have something, but definitely have fewer items than everywhere else normally. This mode normalizes the stuff a fair bit more. And you saw here that Palace of Darkness and Swamp Palace, the two biggest location hogs, had absolutely nothing in them. Even Turtle Rock had nothing in it. It was Mimic Cave that had the item, but Turtle Rock itself had nothing. Which, considering the v26 and, you know, like change to the logic so that more items appear in dungeons, kind of surprising that the highest density places just had nothing there. That's just sometimes how it goes. So real quick for myself here, I am going to see where the Quake Medallion was, because that was like the one big thing that we missed. So let's see, Quake. It is saying Quake was in Turtle Rock apparently. That was Trinex. Okay, so Trinex himself had Turtle Rock. Yes, Trinex had Turtle Rock. Trinex had Quake. That's kind of interesting. Where was Turtle Rock's big key then? Because you would need that to get to him. Turtle Rock big key was in Ganon's Tower. That was the map chest. Okay. And then the only other thing is half magic. Well, I mean, there's the mushroom and stuff I could check too. Half magic was apparently in Tower of Hera. That was the big key chest, the basement item that I could never get. I never got the small key for Tower of Hera actually, so what would that have been a link to? Tower of Hera key was in Ganon's Tower. Okay. Tower of Hera key was what they're calling the Hope Room. I will admit, one criticism of the stuff here, I do not like a lot of the names that they've changed the stuff to here. I actually don't know what the Hope Room is, but the only one I can think of for it is the room to the right, to the left of the tile room, as in the right entranceway. Like you go into Ganon's Tower, then you go down the right staircase. That's the only one that I can think of that would be Hope Room. I do not like that name whatsoever, but hey. So what else was there then? Because we saw that was half magic. The mushroom. The mushroom is the other one I want to see. Right, because the mushroom led to the shovel. So let me see. Mushroom. Was in the light world. Apparently I missed a spot then. Mushroom was at the maze race. Somehow I never went down to the maze race. Okay. That could have been really bad. Whoops. 161 location check seems about right for this mode, since you never check any items in Ganon's Tower. That's normally where a lot of like artificial inflation of the item count comes in, the location check stuff. So 160 odd locations outside of GT being checked, that sounds about right. Wow, I can't believe I didn't go down there. That's actually really bad. Yeah, so the mushroom would have led to the shovel, and the shovel would have led to 20 rupees we saw before. So, yeah, there is that. Huh. Interesting to find out that you done goofed, but hey, sometimes that just happens. I wonder if I'd have realized that at some point. Level 4 sword bosses, a lot. 27 bonks doesn't seem that bad with boots at the very beginning of the seed. I'm relatively okay with that. Screen transitions were a lot. 790 is a huge amount of screen transitions, but that is fine. 404 menu not found. Whatever. 4 minutes in the menu and a Keysanity run seems kind of good, because obviously Keysanity does not care about your menu time when you have to check to see what big key, small key stuff you've got for dungeons. But yeah, that was the new Keysanity mode in version 8.27. Thank you very much for watching. This has been GamerCal showing off the Keysanity mode, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.